Hello amigos, ¿cómo estás? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking everything about Chivas and Chivas' season as a whole, as well as discussing their final game of the season against Tigres. So let's get straight into the game. So it was a 0-0 draw, obviously, as probably most of you know by now. A game of two halves, really. The first half we were absolutely brilliant, I thought. We dominated them, we were attacking them, we really looked like we wanted to score a goal. We came close several times. Macias kept missing, I think he missed a couple of sitters in the first half. So, yeah, I was really happy with the first half. It was actually a really entertaining game, actually, in the first half. Tigres, did have their chances. I think Gignac hit the bar in the first half, I believe, from what I can remember anyway. So yeah, it was a game of two halves. The first half it was end to end. It was very exciting. I would imagine the first half was probably a lot more exciting for the neutrals because it was just end to end. Both teams had a couple of decent chances, but you could just tell that Chivas had the upper hand in that first half. Tigres were quite slow to get into the game, I thought. And then we went to the second half. It kind of fizzled out for Chivas. We didn't look as hungry, we didn't look as confident. I don't know quite why. And then, Vucetich, his substitutions have confused me all season, to be honest. Just, you can always tell when a coach is kind of not doing that well when he's making substitutions and every fan is saying, well, trying to work out why he's done it, what his mindset is. He took all three. I mean, Angulo came off in the half time. I'm not quite sure why. I assumed at the time that he might have picked up a knock or something. And then, halfway through the second half, he takes off Macias and Vega, and I'm just thinking, really? Taking off the whole front line? He kept Vega on for a while longer than everyone else, but yeah, he eventually took him off. I'm thinking, why? It looked like a mixture of him trying to just secure the draw and make sure we don't lose, and because we couldn't lose this game, and desperation, trying to think, well, I'll just put new attackers on, see if they help, and they didn't. Having said that, I think it was Chakotay that did a massive long shot, and it very, very nearly went in. Not long after he got on the pitch, so he was very nearly rewarded Vucetich for his substitutions for the first time ever, but he wasn't, and substitutions for me were just really weird. I wouldn't have messed with the front three, in my opinion. Angulo, I mean, he's been alright this season, but I wouldn't have minded if it was just him that went off. I didn't mind it so much in the half time when he went off in the half time, but take Macias off, who's clearly desperate to score a goal, and Vega as well, who almost had an assist and almost scored himself. Really, they're our two best attackers. Why would you take them off in a game that you absolutely have to win? It was just odd to me. And then, game kind of fizzled out. Tigres, I think, were the strongest team in the last 15-20 minutes. But luckily we held on, and we got the draw. And, the draw was all we needed, really, but we could have done with a win. Because now we are facing Pachuca in the Repechaje. Let me know if I absolutely butchered that word. I swear it's like one of the most complicated Spanish words I've ever had to learn. Repechaje. So it's the playoffs basically. We've got to play Pachuca for the privilege of being in the Liga. It's going to be a tough game. I don't think we beat Pachuca this season, so it's always going to be a tough game against Pachuca. Having said that, we've done really well. In our last 4 games, we've got 3 wins and a draw, which is pretty good. The best form of the season, to be honest. If it hadn't been for the wins against Cholos, Monterrey, and the Clásico Tapatio win against Atlas, we probably wouldn't have reached the gear at all. We did really well at the end of the season, but we've had a very indifferent season, all in all. And going into the season review, I mean, we finished 9th, I think I've always said that on paper we have a top 4, top 5 team easily. Our attacking players especially are really good when they can actually play well. To get 9th is a bit of a disappointment. I'm tempered that with the relief that we are kind of in and around Ligia. I'm not going to be totally happy until we beat Pachuca if we beat Pachuca and get into the Liga itself. So, but at the moment, I'm alright. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. You know, as I said, those 3 wins really helped us. If we had got those 3 wins, we would probably be 12th, 14th, 15th. Which would have been absolutely embarrassing, in my opinion, because we did really well last season and we did really well the last year as well. But as I said, you know, we always seem to perform well when we have to. So, you know, I'm not completely confident against Pachuca. As I said, they're a difficult team to play at the best of times. But you know, based on our current run of form, you know, I'm more confident than I would have been, say, 2 months ago. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the ending of the season. It's just that we should have done a lot better, but we could have very easily done a lot worse. So it's kind of like a catch-22. And in regards to Vucetich, I've been vocal all season that Vucetich is just not up to the task. He had a good season last year, in my opinion. Got us into Liga, got us into the semi-finals. And you know, we got knocked out by a very good team. So you know, I wasn't too annoyed with him. I was very open to giving him this season, you know, as an opportunity for him to build on last season and to move forward. And he hasn't. If anything, he's moved back. We've been nowhere near as defensively stable as we were last season. Leaking goals left, right, and centre. Ignoring the last 4 games where we've kept quite a lot of clean sheets, we let everyone score against us. And yeah, and he's just been a lot worse this season. And the players have been a lot worse this season. I strongly believe that Vega has had such a really good end to the season purely down to the fact that he was in the Olympic team for Mexico. I think he learned something there, or something rubbed off on him from there, and he's just brought that back in to Chivas with him. And you know, he's had a phenomenal season. The best player in the team at the moment. Which is you know, quite surprising when you consider that Macias was touted to be one of the top scorers of the season. He was touted to have a really good season. He was going to, you know, score every game. He's going to be our talisman. He hasn't really. He's been alright. He's got, you know, a fair few goals, but you know, he hasn't been embarrassing for us. It's just that he should have been a lot better than he was. And Vega's taken the mantle from him, in my opinion. And I'm purely down to the fact that if it hadn't been for Vega, I don't think we would have had such a good end to the season. I mean, you know, it is what it is. You can disagree with that if you want, but that's my opinion. And that's not down to Vucetich. Vucetich hasn't made Vega suddenly click into the player that we all know he can be. It's Vega. And probably whatever he learned in the Olympic team from Lozano, in my opinion. I swear on my life, the difference between when he went there and when he came back is night and day for me. And you know, that's not Vucetich. Vucetich has had very little impact on his team, in my opinion, except for the horrific substitutions that he makes. Like, I don't trust Vucetich to take the team forward. I think that if we do get to Liga, I don't think we're gonna sack him. I think that Mauri's going to be quite open to giving him another season, especially if we get quite far into the Liga as well as like we did last season. Sorry. So yeah, it's a catch-22. I think if we lose against Pachuca, I think he will get sacked. But if we make Liga, I think he'll stay, and I think if we get quite far in the Liga, I think he'll stay as well. So it's a catch-22. I don't think he's going to be any better than he has. I mean, I try to be clear that our good run of form of late and our good ending to the season has not been down to Vucetich. It's not because I've thought, Vucetich turned things around, he's done this, he's changed that. He's done nothing. It's just the players have decided, we are actually good and we're going to play like we're good. And it's just the players have clicked. Some of the players, not all of them, but you know, some of the players have clicked, I think, and they were the ones that have made us finish as high as we have, and as well as we have. I just want someone young, someone with real hunger The willingness to change things around a little bit and to play the youngsters. I mean, Beltran is still being used woefully by Vucetich. Don't know why. I don't know what he's done to Vucetich. Beltran's done really well. I mean, he did really well and had a shot when he came on against Tigres. He's a young kid. You've got to be playing him. He's got to be playing. You've got to nurture him. Otherwise, he's going to go to another team and be an absolute worldie. And I do not want to see that. I want to see him thrive at Chivas. And I don't know what it is with Vucetich. I don't know what his problem is with Beltran. I would have Beltran over Molina every day. I think every Chivas fan would have that. Molina's just past it. He's a liability now. He doesn't. He just makes the team worse. He makes the team play worse. He may be brilliant in the changing rooms and behind the scenes, as leadership stuff, but on the pitch he's horrific. And I'm not saying that to be horrible. I'm just saying it because it's true. Like, Vucetich should recognise, like, hey, he's not that good anymore. I'll have him back and I'll have him as a substitution. Maybe if we're winning 2-1 or 1-0 or something, he can come on and kind of steady the ship a little bit defensively. But Molina is not the person you want in your midfield when you're chasing a game. You have to score because he just slows everything down, makes mistakes. He's just past it in my opinion. Whereas Beltran's got fire, he's got hungry, he's got the energy of youth, he can run around. He may make a mistake or two, but he can run around and try and rectify it in a way that Molina can't. But it is what it is. So yeah, I mean, all in all, decent season. I'll give it probably a 5 out of 10. It hasn't been as good as it should have been. It's not been as bad as it could have been. So yeah, probably a 5 out of 10 to be honest. Again, if we make Liguilla, if we beat Pachuca and make Liguilla and go far in it, I'll give it probably a 6 or 7 out of 10. Obviously, if we win Liguilla, it's 10 out of 10, but we're not going to win Liguilla, I don't think. I mean, I hope we do, don't get me wrong, but I don't think we are with the manager we have and the system that he plays and the decisions he makes. I just have no confidence in him whatsoever. If the players will turn up, if Macias decides that he wants to have a really good game, and Vega as well, and Tuna as well, and maybe Angulo coming on to cover them if needed. If they all decide to show up, we could beat anyone in this league. But it's up to the players, not the coach, in my opinion. Anyway, that is my kind of sort of muddled review of the season. Let me know what you thought of the season. Do you think it was great? Do you think it was crap? Who do you think? Who's your player of the season? My personally is Vega. I'm a little bit biased because he's my favourite player, but it's true. He's been integral at least the end of the season and the last 4 games of the season. He had a bit of a poor game against Tigres, but the 3 games before that, I thought he did phenomenally. He was the best player on the pitch for all 3 games. So let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your favourite player is. Who the player you thought was brilliant in. If it's not Vega, let me know who it is and why. So pretty much that's it, guys, until the Repechaje starts. So yeah, I'll be back for that. I'm not quite sure when the fixtures are. I don't think the fixtures have been released yet. So when the game plays and happens, I'll obviously do a review of that game. So take it easy, guys. Hope you enjoyed my videos for this season. I will be back next season for sure. I'm not going to stop with these videos. I think it's I get something out of it. I enjoyed talking about Chivas, and I like that some of you like listening to me talk about Chivas and like engaging with me. That's all awesome. So hopefully we grow a little bit more in the next season. Hopefully a couple more people become regulars. That'd be sweet. But as I say, I just want to thank the people that are the regulars already. To thank you very much. You make this channel awesome. You make what I do worth it. So thanks, guys. Thanks for all the comments and the likes and the shares. And I'll see you guys next season. But yeah, I'll definitely see you before that in the Repechaje. So take it easy, guys. Adios.